The Ripple vs. SEC case, possible outcomes and implications for XRP holders. On March 31, 2023, the deadline for summary judgment in the ongoing case between the Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple Labs, Inc. is fast approaching. The case has been closely watched by the cryptocurrency industry as it could have significant implications for how digital assets are regulated in the United States. In this article, we will explore the possible outcomes of the case based on fact and law. A little background: the SEC filed a lawsuit against Ripple Labs, Inc. in December 2020, alleging that the company had conducted an unregistered securities offering through the sale of its digital asset, XRP. The SEC claimed that Ripple and its executives had raised over $1.3 billion through the sale of XRP, and that the digital asset should be considered a security under U.S. law. Ripple has denied the allegations and has argued that XRP is not a security. Possible outcomes or settlement agreement. One possible outcome of the case is a settlement agreement between Ripple and the SEC. This would involve Ripple agreeing to pay a fine and possibly agreeing to certain restrictions on how it can conduct business. A settlement would allow both parties to avoid a potentially lengthy and costly trial. However, as of now, no sign of a Ripple-SEC settlement yet. What about a case delay? Another possible outcome is a delay in the case. Either party could ask for more time to prepare their arguments or gather evidence, which would result in the deadline for summary judgment being pushed back. This would not be an uncommon occurrence in a case of this magnitude. However, given the length of time that has already passed since the lawsuit was filed, a delay in the case would likely be viewed as a negative development for both Ripple and XRP holders. Summary judgment. The most significant outcome of the case would be a summary judgment. If the judge rules in favor of Ripple, the case would be dismissed and the SEC's allegations would be rejected. This would be a significant victory for Ripple and could potentially lead to a broader acceptance of XRP as a digital asset, free from securities regulation. However, if the judge rules in favor of the SEC, Ripple could face significant fines and restrictions on its ability to conduct business. The ruling could also set a precedent for how other digital assets are regulated in the United States. What if Ripple loses? What is the impact on XRP holders? If Ripple loses the case, XRP holders could face significant losses as the digital asset's value could plummet. On the other hand, if Ripple wins, XRP could see a surge in demand and value. However, it's important to note that the outcome of the case is far from certain, and XRP holders should be prepared for significant volatility in the coming weeks and months. Conclusion: as the deadline for summary judgment approaches, the case between the SEC and Ripple is still far from resolved. While a settlement agreement would be the most straightforward outcome, it's unclear if either party is willing to agree to one. A delay in the case would be viewed as a negative development, while a summary judgment would be a significant victory for the prevailing party. XRP holders should be prepared for significant volatility in the coming weeks and months and should closely monitor any developments in the case. The visuals in this video were brought to you by kaiber.ai, an innovative video creation platform. You can find my referral code in the description below, which gives you access to a free account and complimentary credits to try out the Kaiber platform. By signing up or purchasing a monthly, annual subscription, you'll be supporting me as well, since I earn Kaiber credits for referrals. So, if you want to create awesome videos like this one, click the link in the description and join Kaiber today.